Commanders are getting ready for the Browns. They are on the precipice of a 4-1 start for what would be just the fourth time since 1999. Pretty incredible. 2008, the Jim Zorn-led Washington Redskins got off to a 4-1 start. That 99 team was 4-1. And this year's Commanders, under Dan Quinn with Jaden Daniels at the controls, can pull it off. Do you think they will? This has been the typical letdown spot over the years. Everybody is picking them. They are favored at home. They are the most bet on team this week by the betting public. Feels like maybe the carpet's going to get pulled out from under us, but maybe you see it a different way.
Yeah, because it has nearly every time on these. The exceptions are ones that you all remember right now, top of your head. 2012 against Dallas, winning the finale to win the division. But I tell you how it feels to me. It feels like they are the better team. They're going to win.
Let's go to Carlos in Saverna Park to get started on Grant and Danny. What's your confidence going in to Sunday against Cleveland?
Confidence level is we're already 4-1, and I'm just looking forward to the Baltimore game, to be honest with you. I already got my ticket to the Baltimore game, and if you don't have a ticket, you better buy one now because they're at $200 for the nosebleeds. So, listen, man, what? You said they're the oldest team in that we're playing. They're the worst team right now in football. You know, as long as we don't see Deshaun Watson from Christmas past of Houston, we're already 4-1. We're on to Baltimore. All I'm worried about is, are we going to stop Derrick Henry from rushing 200 yards, and we're going to stop Lamar Jackson from rushing 200 yards. So that's my confidence level, Grant and Danny. There you go. Let's beat Baltimore.
Appreciate you, dude.
That call should scare a lot of people.
I know.
I just want to reiterate, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I don't want any rain on any parades. 11 days ago, they were 1-1 and they'd barely beaten the Giants, and they'd got blown out by the Bucs. And now my guy is saying, no way Cleveland beats them. Bring on the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm on to the Ravens. And again, it's such a hard balance, right? Because I found myself talking almost out of both sides of my mouth. I'm going, it's okay to be excited. It's okay to realize that this is actually meaningful. Starting 3-1 with Rex Grossman is not. This is Jaden Daniels, for God's sake. This is a GM. All the things that you would ever want. There's a difference between that and those other kind of fraudulent bits of nonsense. That said, I'm also going, let's all be patient. Let's all exercise some caution.
You don't have to be patient to just not say that an opponent can't beat you, or that you're not looking at this game, you're looking at the next one. And I get that there was probably some shtick there as he's saying Washington's better than Cleveland. They are 1-3. There is only one team that's 0-4 in the entire league, by the way. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not telling you they're the worst team in the league. I will say statistically, as I pointed out last segment, if you look at the DVOA metric, which accounts for essentially evening out the playing field for, commonality of opponent and stadium and all the metrics, and just a really good catch-all statistic for value, the Browns are dead last in the league. And the reason for that they're 32nd, is that their offense has just been so putrid. So that's what I like about the matchup is, where are the Commanders susceptible? Defense. Where are the Commanders going to have a problem? That underbelly you can cut open. Is Cleveland good enough to do it? They scored 17 on the Cowboys with a lot of garbage time. They scored 15 on the Giants, and they scored 16 on the Raiders. Their only win was against 0-4 Jacksonville, and it was one of the uglier performances of the year by both teams. I think it was a 17-13, 18-13 win, something like that. So when you look at it that way, Danny, they're just not a very good opponent. The question is, can Washington play above the level of the competition?
Yeah, can you take advantage of that, right? I mean, because it's obvious. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Cleveland's weakness is what? It's quarterback play and an offense in general that's been pretty inept. No Nick Chubb. That's now finally official. Although we probably knew that, but now it's official. But their offensive line has been good in recent years. They can thump. They've got two pretty good receivers that you'd like to have, and Judy and Amari Cooper. But it's quarterback play. That's been the issue. Is their defense good enough to take advantage of a bad opponent? That is the essential question. Offensively, they certainly are. We know that. When you play a bad defense, it looks like what they did against Cincinnati, where you can't stop them. Can this group, for 1 week, they played great against Arizona, I thought. Pretty damn well. I'll take that performance sight unseen the rest of the year. Can they do that to a bad Cleveland offense? If so, they beat them by 3 scores. If that's the case, this is a nice test for that group specifically.
The Browns' design was defense, run the ball, make a couple plays with Deshaun Watson. They don't run it that well, and their defense has not played at the level they needed to, and Watson's been terrible. So at some point you go, well, what do we have to hang our hat on, essentially? But Jerome Ford has 2 runs he's ripped off of 36 against Jacksonville and 35 against the Raiders. If not for those 2 runs, he'd be averaging around 35 yards per game this season. There's a big drop-off between Chubb, who's back at practice, and the guy that's actually toting the mail for them, Ford, who just hasn't been as good. Let's go to Sean in Fredericksburg on Grant and Danny live today from the Atlas Brewery in Alexandria. What's up?
So that first call literally gave me a pit in my stomach. I'm rethinking going to the game. I was all pumped up going to the game. I just, Grant, I'm the same age as you, and I've just seen this story so many times, and I think I have PTSD. Like, I can't believe all the national hype. I can't believe what I'm watching, and Kingsbury just, carving up defenses. I just can't believe it yet, and I don't know if I'm going to go to the game. I might sell my tickets, man. I'm terrified.
You should definitely go to the game because you've been waiting too long. And thanks for the call, Sean.
Thank you, buddy.
You've just been waiting too long for these vibes. Just imagine the pregame tailgate, the parking lot, the excitement, the energy, the juice. It feels so different to be around fans at a time when everybody is hopeful and excited. And you just haven't had enough of those days. It's also going to be 73 degrees or whatever and beautiful on Sunday. So plan that tailgate, get out to the stadium, and enjoy yourself. But I'm like him. I'm watching all the coverage, beaming and excited and not really fully understanding it. But I also know this is how it works. It's just never Washington's turn.
Right.
But it takes 2 weeks, basically, of doing something, and then Dan Orlovsky and Swagoo want to tell you about it, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. If you're something for a couple of weeks, if you play a month of football and you're the hot noise, then all the networks are going to be talking about you. Now, they'll beat you up next week. As soon as you lose to the Browns, they'll tear you down, and they'll have a new team to talk about next week. And then it'll be that Kirk Cousins threw for 500, and here come the Falcons or whatever. There's going to be another shoe dropping, but that's why I'm not buying into it. I'm just enjoying it.
That's the distinction, right? It's buy-in or 100% belief versus I just know that I'm having a great time.
How many teams would you rather play this week than the Browns? I think that's a small list. How many teams in football would you say I would trade a game against Cleveland Sunday to play that team?
There are not many at this point. I mean,
would you rather play the Jags or the Browns?
I was going to say, even though Jacksonville has been terrible, they've been 9-8 for the last 2 years, and you figure like there's a good performance somewhere coming for a team that hasn't won yet.
Lawrence might have
awful.
Gotten off to the worst started quarterback in the league. I still would take him over to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it might look like honestly Miami because they can't do anything with their current offense and scheme.
New England?
It might be New England. It might be Jacksonville. The Giants again. I could always play them.
See, the Giants just beat the Browns.
I know.
I would much rather play Cleveland than New York again. New York almost beat me at my place.
That's true. I was there. Yeah.
So no,
I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Were you there?
No, I would never go.
Did we just find something out?
No,
Danny was at Northwest Stadium.
Just mean I watched it from home, and I'll never go to that stadium ever.
Oh.
But yeah, like I don't know that I'd rather play Carolina right now with the red rifle, slinging it. So it's a small list. I think that's another good way to look at it.
I think the only team I'd rather play this week than the Browns is probably the Patriots. I wouldn't even put the Dolphins on that list because Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are healthy and still exist. Let's go to Manoj in Brooklyn on Grant and Danny. How are you, Manoj?
Hey, guys.
What's
Good
up,
to connect in the new year.
Sir?
You as
I'm
well.
Going to the game this weekend. I already bet the Skins, already bet the over, but I have a bad feeling about this. Mostly because every game I go to, they pretty much lose. But also the injuries to B-Rob and Noah Brown, I think, are bigger than, yes, this offense has been sick and Jaden's awesome, but I think those matter, especially the receiver one. Also, actually, the running back one, too. And then this is like the same thing. We played the Browns 2 years ago late in the season, and it was a get-right game for Deshaun, and he's never lost to us before. And it just feels like the Browns are a team that can get rolling on offense versus us, and then their defense will just come hunting for Jaden, and we're going to be in a tough spot.
It's a good phone call, and I like everything you said, except I just don't know that game's relevant at all. Like Carson Wentz threw 3 picks. By the way, I think that was the You Can Be Eliminated game, wasn't it?
I believe it was the We Can Be Eliminated.
Was that Bron Rivera post-game You Can Be Eliminated? That was the Browns game, I think. And then that night they got eliminated. I'm almost positive. But having said that, it doesn't matter.
Matters a little.
Kind of does. I think it always matters.
We can be eliminated. Yep. And you should be too.
Noah Brown being out won't help. that goes without saying. I don't think it's a deal breaker. He's caught 3 balls a week. They've been pretty big catches, and he can do something seemingly that other guys can't do with his size. But they've gotten a lot out of Luke McCaffrey. His role's going to grow. They've gotten plenty out of Olamide Zaccheaus, at least in terms of this past week. He was their leading receiver. And De'Ami Brown's going to have to step up. Maybe it's a Terry McLaurin game. Maybe it means, in terms of size in the middle of the field, instead of Noah Brown, Zach Ertz, instead of having 3 or 4 catches, has 7 or 8. But if Brown had like a 6-catch, 90-yard game last week or a couple of 100-yard games, I feel like that's more damaging. The key one to watch is Brian Robinson. And he's posted on social media thumbs up emojis. I'm assuming he's going to play.
I'm hopeful of that, and that's what it's trending towards. Certainly, we'll find out a little bit more today with that Friday practice. Usually, one of the telltale ones. But your point about Brown, I think, is really good, and here's why. What they've shown each week is there's going to be a different person. We know, thinking about from Kingsbury and this offense's perspective, we know there's going to be a time, a place, a person that you haven't accounted for, or you're not looking for, or you haven't thought that we're going to utilize that we will. Last week was the Zaccheaus game. I would bet it's not 2 straight Zaccheaus games. I bet you someone else has the week. As you mentioned, could be Ertz, could be McCaffrey, maybe running some more of those Noah Brown looks. This could be the week Ben Sinnott has his 3 or 4 catches. I don't think he has one this year. This could also be, any of a million things. They could run 2 running backs at the same time with McNichols and Eckler. It could be his
McCaffrey season.
Yeah.
Luke season. Why not? Let's go 5 for 70 with the kid. Feel good about it?
5 for 70?
5 for 70.
Steep.
Let's do this. If he catches a touchdown,
okay,
or he catches 5 passes, or he goes for 50-plus yards, on Monday, we all get together after the show and go eat Chili's chocolate lava cakes with vanilla ice cream in honor of Luke McCaffrey.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, you would have to hang out with us after the show.
Yeah, see, that's where it gets tough.
Like, the show would end.
It's over?
Yes, the show ends. And rather than running out the door
and
pretending to have an event that you don't have, you will have to then hang out with Ryan and me and Darius for like another, probably like an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh.
If you count commute.
That's not even including the commute?
No, if you count commute. You'd only have to be at Chili's long enough to order and eat your chocolate lava cake.
Can I get it to go?
No, you have to eat it with us. That's the whole point.
But if I got it to go container, I could eat it faster.